Iron Man never thought he'd lose to Optimus Prime. But the good thing was, Tony wasn't actually inside that armor. At that time, Mark 42 could be controlled remotely. Meanwhile, Killian had taken over the Iron Patriot. He had kidnapped the president and taken him to his secret hideout, where Pepper was also being held captive. By then, Tony and Rhodey had already found the location. But there was one problem. Tony's aim in the firefight was really bad. Almost every bullet he fired missed the enemy by a long shot. She was leaving. Even the stone couldn't resist making fun of her. Suddenly, a huge crowd of enemies started rushing towards them. But Tony wasn't worried at all because the Iron Legion had already arrived. At Tony's signal, all the armor units immediately jumped into battle. Mark 31 attacked first, but the enemies quickly tore him apart. As he fell, Mark 31 took an enemy down with him. Then Mark 41 entered the field. He surprised everyone by splitting his body into different parts. Soon after, the armor. The rest of the guys jumped into the fight, and the whole place turned into a total mess. Just then, the heavy iron structure above started to crack and wobble. Tony quickly sent Mark 38 over there. That big armor had a super strong hydraulic system installed. It saved itself from crashing down despite the hundreds of tons of heavy iron swinging above. Meanwhile, the other armors were fiercely battling different enemies. Some armors fought the enemies and ended up crashing down, while others fell while fighting extremist soldiers. Then Tony spotted Mark 33 and pulled out the paper. Rhodey wanted to grab an armor too, but Tony made it clear that only he had the clearance to use that armor. Rhodey had no choice but to watch him leave. A little while later, Tony was found trapped under a pile of papers. Just as someone was about to save him, Killian suddenly attacked. With his very hot hands, he damaged the device attached to Tony's chest. Killian was about to finish it when suddenly, a hidden sharp blade popped out of Tony's armor and cut Killian's hand. But Killian's severed hand was so hot that it actually melted the metal surface beneath it. The paper straight up caught fire and fell into the flames below. Seeing this, Tony completely lost it. He put on Mark 16 armor and attacked Killian head-on. But Killian had this insane power to heal himself, making him really hard to beat. No matter how much Tony hit him, Killian would bounce back in just a few moments. Tony quickly found himself on the back foot. In the end, he had to ditch the armor. Then he put on the super-fast Mark 40 suit and launched another attack. But his even speed didn't stand a chance against Ilian's power. As soon as Ilian got the chance, he badly damaged the armor and eventually tore Tony's suit apart. It looked like Tony was totally out of options. Just then, after being gone for a long time, Mark 42 finally showed up. Tony reached out, hoping the armor would automatically reassemble on his body. But Killian, right at that moment, started mocking Tony. He said Tony wasn't even worthy of wearing the Iron Man armor. But Killian's words actually sparked a great idea in Tony's mind. An idea popped into his head. He immediately ordered Mark 42 to split into different parts. Instead of all the armor pieces coming to Tony, they stuck directly onto Killian. Then Tony gave his final command. The armor started to self-destruct, causing a huge explosion that filled the entire area with fire and smoke.